हेलो फ्रेंड्स, आज हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं इस किताब लाइस लुक लाइक लव के बारे में, जिसको लिखा है विजय कुमार मिश्रा ने। मुझे पता है इस बुक का टाइटल थोड़ा सा टंग ट्विस्टिंग जैसा है, लाइस लुक लाइक लव। तो इनिशियली मेरे को भी लगा था कि ऑथर ने किताब का ऐसा नाम क्यों रखा है जिसको पढ़ने में इतनी मुश्किल हो रही है, बट वंस आई कंप्लीटेड द स्टोरी, वंस आई कंप्लीटेड द बुक, आई अंडरस्टूड व्हाई द टाइटल इज नेम्ड so before beginning I must say that Bijaya Kumar Mishra is a very terrific writer, and I don't know how I didn't hear about him before this book, and now I am very excited about reading more of his work just because of this book that I have just completed reading. So this is not a very big book. This is a short story of around 222 pages, and this is from a thriller genre, so you can expect yourself to be on toes throughout the story as it will play in front of your eyes in this book. Author is able to keep the suspense intact, and that's what makes you keep glued towards this book. So talking about the story, about the plot, it is about a widower Maya who is living in a very big villa with her sisters and two caretakers. Ravi comes to her and asks if he can live in this villa or any outhouse on rent, but she denies initially, but after watching one or two gestures of his which makes her remind of her husband, she gives him permission that okay, you can come and stay on rent. When they start living together under the same premises, they start coming close. As we know, it happens when people from different genders starts living together under one premises, and from here begins their act of closeness, and then they get into their romantic affair. At one point of time, Ravi starts understanding about few facts about her sisters, and now it starts worrying him if he should continue with the relationship or leave it here itself, because it is becoming complicated and all of that. Maya is also hiding something from him, and she is also thinking if she should tell him and how this relationship should progress. And from here onwards, the whole story takes a different shape, because one after the other, lot of facts come into the place, and both the characters struggle to keep up with their lies, with their truth, with their facts, how they are related to each other, and all of that. So the psychoanalysis part is very beautifully executed by the author in this book, in this story. I just loved reading it. Because this book was about these two main characters, Ravi and Maya, it was very important to have their chemistry right, and author has done a perfect job in keeping that. You just love reading their romantic scenes together or their intimate scenes together. It is very beautifully portrayed, and you get the vibes that author wants to make you feel, even as an individual character, because Maya has her own backstory and Ravi has his own backstory. Both of them are very nicely treated. You are able to connect with them. You understand the kind of people they are, from where they are coming, and what their purpose is. Now, because their relationship, both of Ravi and Maya together, goes through lot of up and down, and because they meet, then they try to understand each other, then they get separated, they again regel together. There is a lot of distrust, there is a lot of revelation of truths, revelation of secrets. How they go through whole phase is very nicely portrayed by the author. The narrative does very good justice to this. Author assures that Maya's sisters are very cleverly introduced in the chapter where they are actually needed to take entry in this story, and the whole psychology part of their mind is nicely dealt with, because this is still a taboo in a society. But the way author portrays it in this book is very perfect, and you understand what goes behind such patients or such people who go through such mindset shift that they are sometimes unable to understand what's going up with them. I'll not say much, otherwise something will get disclosed. So here I would like to stop about talking more about the plot. Then I would say that chapters are very nicely planned, the way it happens in web series. I give this example every time about web series, because as soon as one chapter ends, you want to know what happens in the next, and that's the reason why this book will be completed by you in just 1 or 2 sittings, because it's very hard to keep up to yourself and not know what happens next, and the reason why you will not be able to leave this book as soon as you'll start reading it. Author manages to keep twists and turns coming at the very right time, because it doubles your excitement what would happen next, and that curiosity is what keeps this thriller one of the good thrillers written in the last year. Now, I would say that writing a thriller is not a very easy task, and there are certain secrets post revelation, or how you would take the story ahead after the main secret is revealed becomes very challenging, because then holding the interest of the reader becomes very difficult. But Bijaya Kumar Mishra does a very good job here, as you would still want to read what will happen now that all these secrets and truth is out. You would like to know the reaction of the characters and everything. So overall, this book is a very light thriller with deep characters, and while reading you would be able to imagine the whole villa in front of you, and you would, the way it happens in Bollywood or Hollywood horror movies, you would like to imagine the whole book in that same scenario, in the same theme. I really enjoyed reading it, and I give this book 4.25 stars out of 5. Please do read if you are wanting to read a very light thriller but with very deep meaning or deep characters or deep subject. Thanks a lot.